The training hall was silent. Big lights hung from the tall ceiling, making the floor shine like glass. 10 alien cadets stood in a wide circle. Their eyes were on one girl. Human, small, still. Her name was Isha Khan, and she stood alone. Across from her was Zorak, the biggest cadet in the class. He was from the ulnar species known for strength, thick armor-like skin, and a long history of war. He laughed. "She's the weakest here," Zorak growled. "Why send a human to Cetanine?" No one answered. They only watched. "Cadets," barked the training officer, a tall insect-like alien called Instructor Relox. "This is your first live match. No deaths. Just disable your opponent." The officer stepped back. A buzzer sounded. The fight had begun. Zorak didn't wait. He roared, charging forward like a tank. Isha didn't move. He raised his arm. His claws flashed through the air and struck her across the chest. The sound was sharp. Skin tore. Blood sprayed. But still, Isha did not fall. She looked up, eyes cold, steady. She did not even blink. Zorak grinned. "You're already bleeding, human." Then something changed. A chill passed through the air. Isha stepped forward once. Then again, Zorak hesitated. She wasn't falling. She wasn't afraid. She was calm. Too calm. Isha moved again, just one fast step. Her hand came up, fingers tight like steel. She hit him under the jaw with a short punch. Zorak's head snapped back. His body twisted. His knees gave out. He hit the ground with a loud thud. Unmoving. The room was dead silent. Even Instructor Relox didn't speak. Isha looked at her bloodied shirt and calmly tore a strip off, wrapping it around her chest. Then she turned to leave the circle. A medic rushed to Zorak. "He's alive, jaw broken, neck dislocated, passed out." Relox stared at Isha as she walked away. That was not human. Later that night in the mess hall, whispers followed Isha. Alien cadets looked up when she entered, then looked away. She didn't even try to block. She let him hit her, and then she broke him. "She's not just a human, she's something else." Isha ignored them. She picked up a food tray and sat in the corner, facing the wall. Her hands were steady. Her food untouched. A small alien named Tirza from the feathered planet Rilan came to her table. "Can I sit?" she asked softly. Isha nodded. Zia looked around. "They're scared of you." Isha kept eating. Tirza tried again. "That hit would have knocked out anyone. You didn't even flinch." "I was trained not to," Isha replied, finally. "By who?" Tirza asked. Isha didn't answer. Tirza lowered her voice. "You were sent here for a reason, weren't you? You're not just a cadet." Still, Isha said nothing, but she looked at Tirza just for a moment, and that was enough. Tirza shivered. That night, rumors grew. Some said she was part machine. Others said Earth had changed its humans, made them tougher, faster, silent killers. And some said she wasn't the only one. Next morning, combat briefing room instructor Relox stood at the front. "Yesterday's fight was simple," he said. "Today's test is different." The screen behind him showed a map of a ruined city. "You'll enter in pairs. Your goal, reach the extraction point. You will be attacked. Work together or fail." Everyone nodded. The names appeared on the screen. Isha's partner was Velgren, a lizard-like warrior from the volcanic world of Multrek. Velgren looked annoyed. "I work alone." Isha just shrugged. "Don't worry. I won't slow you down." Inside the simulation zone, dust floated in the air. The ruined city was quiet, but the tension was loud. Vel Gran kept his rifle up. Isha had only a small knife. Velgren growled, "Where's your weapon? This is enough." "You think a knife will help here?" he said with a laugh. Isha didn't answer. Suddenly, the ground shook. Enemy drones dropped from the sky, metal monsters with glowing red eyes. Velgren fired. Isha vanished into the shadows. 3 drones moved toward Velgren. He shot 2, missed the third. It came fast, claws out. Then sparks exploded. Isha leapt from a wall, stabbing the drone's eye. It fell, twitching. Velgren stared. You moved like a shadow. Isha checked the map. Let's go. 20 minutes. Later they reached the extraction point. First team to do so. Instructor. Relax's voice came through the speaker. Cadets Khan and Velgren, success. Fastest time, cleanest kills. Other teams failed. Some were injured. 1 alien lost a hand, but Isha stood clean, calm, watching everything. Back in the dorms, Velgren walked into the cadet hall. Others looked up. He spoke loudly. I was wrong. About her. She's not a weak human. She's a ghost with a knife. No one laughed. No one spoke. They were all starting to believe the same thing. Later that night, command observation deck, 3 instructors met in a dark room. She's different, said Relax. No fear, no anger, just silence. We need to know why Earth sent her, said one instructor. The third one nodded. Send word to command. Ask for her records. Relax looked through the window at the training grounds. She didn't win that fight, he said quietly. She ended it. Flashback. Earth, 2 years earlier. A girl stood on a high mountain, surrounded by snow. Wind howled around her. Before her stood a human general. You want to join Project Ember? He asked. Yes, Isha said. You'll be alone. You'll be sent far from Earth. They'll try to break you. I won't break. The general studied her face. Then remember this, he said, leaning close. Silence is our sharpest blade. Never show fear. Never show pain. You are not there to survive. You are there to end it. Present day. Ceta-9 medical wing Zorak woke up. His face was wrapped. His jaw wired shut. Instructor Relax stood over him. You're lucky to be alive, he said. Zorak's eyes blinked slowly. Relax leaned in. Tell me, what did you see in her eyes? Zorak tried to speak. Couldn't. Instead, he wrote 1 word on the screen. Nothing. Relax stood straight. Yes, he said. That's what I saw too. Final scene. Ceta-9 observation tower. Isha stood alone, watching the stars. Far above. The moon of Ceta-9 glowed red. Behind her. Footsteps came. It was Tirza. You're not just here to train, are you? She whispered. Isha didn't look back. No, she said softly. I'm here too. Remind them. Remind them of what? Isha finally turned. That humans never needed to be loud. To be dangerous. Then she walked away. The lights in the cadet barracks flickered. It was just a glitch. A tiny shake in the power system. But still, 5 alien cadets paused. Their hands froze over their cards. Their eyes turned to the far bunk. Empty. Such a Khan wasn't there. She hadn't returned since dinner. One of the cadets, a horned alien named Crixil, whispered, Where does she go at night? No one answered. She doesn't talk. She doesn't laugh. She doesn't train with us. She just watches. A silence passed between them like a storm cloud. I don't like it, said Crixil. She's hiding something. They all nodded. But no one moved. No one wanted to look for her. Across the academy, 243, Amisha crouched on top of a service pipe above the training arena. Eyes sharp, breathing steady. Below her, 2 instructors practiced silently with plasma. Staffs, she wasn't watching them. She was watching the camera system, memorizing the blind spots, timing the power cycles. Then, like a shadow, she was gone. The next day, morning combat drill instructor Relax stood in front of the cadets. Today, we test awareness. 1 by 1, you will enter the fog zone. You must survive for 15 minutes. You will not be told what is hunting you. A small alien in the back gulped. The fog zone was legendary. Gray mist, strange sounds, surprise attacks. No cameras. No help. First name on the board. Isha Khan. Inside the fog zone, thick mist swirled. Machines made strange groans. Light flickered like candle flame. Isha stepped inside. Her eyes narrowed. No panic. No questions. Her footsteps made no sound. Suddenly, a low growl came from her left. She didn't turn. A flash of movement behind her. She ducked. A mechanical beast pounced from above. A training drone with 6 legs and shock arms. Isha rolled beneath it, slashing once with her short blade. Sparks. Then nothing. She moved again. Faster now. 2 more drones leapt from the smoke. One came high, one low. She jumped between them, twisting her body like water. The timer on the wall ticked down. She wasn't just surviving. She was dancing. Outside the zone, the cadets watched the screen. It showed only static. No one could see what was happening inside. Instructor Ryelok spoke softly. Most cadets last 7 minutes. Krexel scoffed. She won't last 5. 10 minutes passed. Still nothing. 14 minutes. 15. Real Ox raised an eyebrow. Time. End the session. The fog lifted. Isha stood alone. 5 drones lay scattered around her, broken. She hadn't been touched. She walked out, calm. As always. Later that night, Cadet Hall, the whispers had turned into something colder. Fear. Krex. Ill slammed his fist on the table. She's mocking us, another cadet asked. Then go talk to her. Krexel hesitated, then stood. I will. Outside, near the quiet grounds, Isha sat alone near the stone path that led to the outer wall. Krexel approached her, his shadow long. In the moonlight, you think you're better than us? He snapped. Isha didn't reply. He stepped closer. I'm not afraid of you. Still no answer. He raised his hand. That was his mistake. Isha moved once fast. She twisted his wrist, spun him around, and dropped him face down in the dirt. Krexel groaned. Isha leaned close to his ear. You shouldn't attack someone who isn't afraid to die. Then she walked away. Infirmary. Next morning, Krexel's arm was bandaged. He wouldn't look anyone in the eye. When asked what happened, he only said, she saw me before I moved. Instructor office, level 3. Ryelok stared at the data. He had seen strong cadets. He had trained killers, but Isha Khan was something else. She didn't just survive challenges. She ended them before they started. He tapped the desk, then opened a private message to Central Command. Recommendation: Level 5 Deep Psych Evaluation Subject, Human. Isha Khan. Potential threat level, Yun Known. In a hidden room, Isha opened a small locker. Inside was a metal disc, black and smooth. She pressed her thumb to it. A soft voice spoke from the device. Report status, Cadet Khan. She whispered back, no detection. Observing reactions. Fear increasing. Excellent, the voice replied. Begin Phase 2. Engage direct threat. Controlled response. No kills. She nodded. Understood. Then she closed the locker. 2 days later. Night combat simulation. All cadets were armed, split into 2 teams. Team A, led by VEL Grand. Team B, led by Krexel. Isha was on Team B. Krexel spoke loudly. We go hard, no mercy. And if she gets in my way, she bleeds. His team looked unsure. The buzzer sounded. Combat began. 5 minutes in. Team A advanced fast. Velgren was sharp, his shots clean. Then he stopped. Isha's missing, he said. What? She's not with them. Just then, one of his teammates fell, shot by a stun bolt from behind. Another went silent, ambushed, and knocked out. Velgren growled. She's hunting us. His teammate asked, how does she move so fast? Then the lights above them shut off. Darkness. Screams. Silence. Match. And 1 minute later, Team B stood confused. All of Team A was down. Instructor Ryelok looked at the score. No kills. Full takedowns. One cadet caused 90% of results. He looked up. Isha Khan, report. She stepped forward. Silent. Still. Dangerous. Command. Council, Orbiting ship A meeting began in secret. High-ranking aliens from 4 systems joined. Video played. Isha's combat files, her movements. Her hits. One general growled, "She's not a soldier, she's a message." Another added, "Earth stayed quiet for too long." The leader of the council spoke softly. "Then maybe we should have listened while they were still quiet." Last scene, Sita 9, observation room. Tirza sat across from Isha. "I watched you in that last test," she said. "You disappeared. Then everyone lost." Isha said nothing. "You're not here to make friends, are you?" "No." "Then why are you here?" Isha looked her in the eye. "To remind them," she said, "that the quietest thunder always comes last. And hits the hardest." General Zarvek, a tall armored alien from the Trulkan species, slammed his fist on the desk. The hologram of Isha Khan froze mid-movement. "She is a child," Zarvek growled. "A human child." Instructor Relok stood still. "Sir, with respect, that child has outperformed every cadet. Her success rate is..." Zarvek cut him off. "It is not fear, it is nonsense. You let one silent girl make this whole academy tremble?" The other generals in the room said nothing. Zarvek narrowed his eyes. "Put her in the arena. Real weapons, real enemies." "Let me watch her fail," Relok hesitated. "That arena was banned." "It's lethal." Zarvek bared his teeth. "Then we see if the rumors are true, or if the humans have just learned to act well." Cadet barracks later that day. A screen flashed. To Cadet Isha Khan, you have been selected for solo. Arena trial location, SECTORO time, 0600. Velgren read it over her shoulder. "Sector 0? That's not training, that's suicide," Isha said. "Nothing. Ti, our single quotes." Zia spoke from her bunk. "You don't have to go." Isha turned to them. "You don't understand, I must go." They watched her walk out. No fear, no hesitation. Inside Sector 0 arena, the place was silent. No cameras, no observation screens for cadets. Only command-level viewing from above. The ground was rough metal. Dried stains still marked old fights. High walls kept the outside world away. General Zarvek stood above, arms crossed. Instructor Relok stood beside him. "She has no armor, no rifle. She doesn't need them, right?" Zarvek mocked. 3 gates opened. From them stepped 3 assault drones, heavily armed. I controlled, each trained to attack like living predators. A countdown began. 10, 9. Isha didn't move. 3, 2, 1. The drones charged. The fight begins. The first drone fired an energy blast. Isha dropped low, rolling under the beam, grabbing a metal shard from the floor. She leapt at the second drone, twisting through the air, slicing its sensor node with precision. Sparks. One drone disabled. The second slammed toward her. She ran at it head. On. At the last moment, she slid beneath its legs, sliced open the coolant pipe, and flipped back. It froze systems, overheating. The third drone was faster. It aimed a rocket. Boom. Dust filled the arena. Zarvek leaned forward. Instructor Relok's eyes widened. The smoke cleared. Isha stood behind the drone's wreckage, burnt, bloodied, but standing. 3 drones down. Command deck above the arena. No one spoke. Zarvek's jaw tightened. She. She planned it all, one commander whispered. She used the environment, the angles. Zarvek stepped back. "This changes nothing," he snapped, but his voice trembled. Medical bay. 1 hour later, Isha sat on the bed, cuts across her arms. The doctor scanned her body. "You should be dead," he muttered. "Your heart rate never went above 90. What are you?" Isha stared at the ceiling. "I'm just a cadet," she whispered, but no one believed her. Cadet lounge. Later news spread like fire. She beat Sector 0. 3 real war drones. She didn't even flinch. Velgren shook his head. She's not just a message, she's a warning. Tirza added, I think she was sent to remind the galaxy that humans don't need to shout to destroy. Relox's office, private message to Earth. To Earth Command Subject. Khan. Isha, she survived Sector 0. Drones destroyed. Emotional response, 0. Recommend immediate intervention before Galactic. Tension escalates. Requesting response. The reply came instantly. Do not interfere. Phase 2 begins. Sita 9 Archives, midnight. Isha crept through the shadows. She scanned her palm on a hidden door. It slid open. Inside were relics of the past. Old Earth tech. Dusty weapons, locked crates. She opened one. A black box. Inside, a worn-out piece of armor. Light, human-made. She placed it on her chest. It lit up blue. She looked in the mirror, quiet, controlled, deadly. Next morning, combat formation field. Cadets stood in line. General Zarvek himself stepped forward. I will personally train you today, he barked. Too many of you are weak. His eyes landed on Isha. He pointed at her. You, fight me. Now. Gasps echoed. Velgrin whispered, this is madness. Tirza shook her head. She won't win this. But Isha walked forward. Alone. One-on-one match begins. The field was cleared. General Zarvek stood tall. Over 7 feet, in partial armor. He held a heavy shock blade. Isha had no weapon. He growled. You think silence is power? Let me show you what war is. He lunged forward, swinging wide. Isha stepped aside with perfect calm. The blade missed her by inches. She didn't hit back. He swung again. She dodged. Then again. She leaned, just enough. The blade cut wind. Zarvek roared. But he was sweating now. Frustrated. Losing focus. Then Isha moved one strike. Open hand. To his throat. He dropped to one knee. She stepped behind him. Swept his legs. He fell flat. Gasps again. Isha stood over him, quiet, still, unshaken. After the match, no one clapped. No one spoke. Zarvek looked up, coughing. Why didn't you kill me? He asked. Isha replied softly, because you're not my enemy. She turned and walked away. That night, in the stars above, Earth Command received a final report. Sector -0. Cleared. General defeated. Fear level maximum. Phase 3 ready. Awaiting activation. The hallway was dark, silent, hidden from most cadets. But Isha Khan was not most cadets. She walked through a long, underground tunnel beneath the Academy, one that hadn't been used in decades. Her steps were light, her hands steady. Her eyes locked on a sealed door marked with faded red paint. Restricted. Human tech storage authorized personnel. Only danger level. Sirunso placed her hand on the scanner. It buzzed, hesitated, then turned green. The door opened with a hiss. Inside, silence. Inside the vault, the walls were covered in old Earth banners, torn, faded, stained from time. In the center sat a long black box, sealed with metal locks and Earth's military emblem. Beside it, a display screen blinked once. It showed one word. Imber Shah knelt and unlocked the case. Inside, a sleek, dark armor suit. Light, flexible, deadly. Old, but alive. This was not standard issue. It was custom built. She reached inside. The chest plate reacted to her skin. A soft click. The suit powered on, silent blue lights glowing down the spine. She whispered, "You waited a long time." Flashback. Earth 3 years ago. Isha stood in a metal room deep below the Himalayas. An old man in a gray coat handed her the suit. "This is Ember 1, he said. "Made before the silence. Banned by every intergalactic treaty. Fast, near invisible, intelligent. Why was it banned?" Isha asked. The man stared at her. "Because it doesn't protect the wearer. It finishes the mission. No matter what." Present, Sita 9. Isha placed the armor in a hidden bag. No one could see it yet. Not until the time was right. Morning briefing, combat dome, instructor relax paced. Today, group ambush drill. Teams of 3. Objective, survive. Drones will be equipped with plasma weapons. Velgren stepped forward. Isha's team? Relax checked the pad. She goes alone. Murmurs. Tirza gasped. Why? Command orders, Relax said flatly. Solo trial, no support. Velgren's fists clenched. That's a setup. Isha only nodded. Inside the combat dome, fog simulation, level 6. Mist surrounded her. 10 enemy drones moved fast. They weren't simple machines. These were military level with reflexes, heat tracking, and layered armor. Isha reached into her bag. Piece by piece, she slid the armor on. No sound. No clicks. Just perfect fit. The Ember suit powered. Up sensors locking onto each threat. Then she moved. The fight. The first drone didn't even see her. She landed behind it, disabling its joint with one silent stab. It fell. The second fired. She rolled. Under the shot, bounced off the wall, and hit its core with a spinning elbow. 2 down. She kept going, faster, lighter. Ghost-like. The suit tracked weak points. Her blade struck only where it mattered. Within 6 minutes all drones were down. She hadn't taken a hit. Not one. Above the arena observation room, Zarvek and 3 generals watched. What is she wearing? One asked. Relax zoomed in. Earth tech, he whispered. Old, illegal, but deadly. The screen showed Isha standing in the fog. Silent. No cheering. No anger. Just stillness. The general muttered, Earth didn't give her that to survive. They gave it to show us what they still have. Zarvek didn't speak. Cadet lounge, later. The other cadets were quiet. No teasing. No doubt. She walked into a death zone, said Krexel, and walked out untouched. Velgren stood. We need to know the truth. Why is she really here? Tirza replied, maybe we already know. We just didn't want to believe it. That night, Isha's room. The lights were off. Isha cleaned the armor silently. Each piece returned to its hidden box. She opened her communicator. Soft voice spoke. You activated Ember 1. Yes, she whispered. And the effect? Fear, confusion, respect. Phase 3 begins in 48 hours. Upload full Academy blueprint and instructor schedules. Isha paused, understood. Then shut the device. Next day, Academy Central Tower. A message played across the intercom. Combat rankings updated. Number 1 Isha Khan. Number 2, Velgren. #3 Zorak, still injured. Number 4, Terzev Academy. Had never seen a human take the top rank. Had never seen anyone rise so fast. General Zarvek watched the list and growled. This is Earth's warning shot. We must respond. Another general replied, then do it. Send in something that can kill her. 2 nights later, surprise infiltration drill. Alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Cadets scrambled. Instructor Relax shouted, unknown enemy. This is not a drill. Isha didn't panic. She ran straight for her locker. The Ember suit was ready. She suited up in 30 seconds. Outside, chaos raged. 4 elite war drones entered the base. Real war machines from the Arkan conflict. Designed to clear entire cities. They weren't. Cadet-level. They were killers. The real battle. Isha moved through smoke and gunfire. She leapt off. A broken stairwell dropped between 2 drones and sliced one open at the neck joint. The other turned to fire. She was gone. Above it, landing on its back. Driving her blade deep into its processor. 2 more flanked her. The suit whispered, multiple threats. Evade. Counter. She didn't flinch. She ran toward them, full speed. Velgren watched from behind cover, stunned. She's not human. Tirza cried, she's a storm. End of battle. 12 minutes later. The base was quiet again. 4 war drones destroyed. No cadet deaths. Isha stood in the wreckage, breathing. Calm. Armor glowing. Everyone stared. Not in fear. In awe. Command meeting. Emergency session. Zarvek shouted. That armor was outlawed. Where did she get it? Relax replied. Maybe the real question is, how many more do they have? Silence. Then someone whispered, Earth never stopped building weapons. They just stopped showing them. Final scene. Observation tower. Done. Isha stood alone, watching the sun rise over the Cetanine walls. Velgren walked up beside her. You wore something last night, he said. Something forbidden, she nodded. Why show it now? Isha replied softly, because they need to remember what we buried. And what happens when it wakes up? Opening scene. Control tower. 0300 hours. Krexel stood in the dark room, his fists tight. Behind him, 4 cadets from different species waited silently. Enough is enough, Krexel said. She's taken everything top rank, command respect. Even the instructors fear her. One cadet asked, She saved the base from war drones. You saw it. Krexel bared his teeth. She made us look weak. He pointed at the base map. We trap her. Inside the old training block. It's unused. We say it's a test from command. Once she's inside, we shut the doors. She stays in the dark alone. Another asked, What if she escapes? She won't, Krexel said. We control the systems. She has no allies. He smiled. And by the time she gets out, she'll learn what it means to be put in her place. Next morning, main hall. Instructor Relax read off assignments. Krexel, Tirza, Velgren, and Isha Khan. Report to Sector 12 training block. Sia raised an eyebrow. That block was decommissioned. Ti, our single quotes ZA, leaned close. I didn't get that message last night, you? Isha shook her head. Velgren's eyes narrowed. Something's wrong. Krexel smiled too quickly. That was the first clue. Sector 12 Block C. The group entered a cold, dusty building. Lights flickered overhead. The doors creaked as they opened. Krexel tapped on his control pad behind his back. The doors slammed shut. Magnetic locks. Click. Lights died. Tirza spun. What was that? Krexel grinned. Simulation override. This is now your test. Open the door, Velgren snapped. No, Krexel said. Let's see what your human can do, now trapped, alone. He pressed another key. Metal walls dropped between them, separating Isha from the others. Tirza screamed. Krexel, stop. Too late. Isha was sealed in. Inside the trap room, the floor was metal. No light, only a soft red glow from the walls. Isha looked up at the cameras. Dead. She checked the air vents. Too narrow. Her face remained calm. She sat on the floor, waited, listened. Control room, above Block C. Krexel watched the screens, laughing. Look at her. Just sitting. No panic, no fight. She's planning, Velgren warned. You've made a mistake. Krexel waved him off. She's locked down. What can she do? Inside the room, 11 minutes later, Isha stood and walked to the far wall. She tapped it. Thin, she reached into her boot and pulled out a hidden tool, small and sharp. She began to unscrew a panel. Behind it, control wires. She smiled. Control room. An alarm beeped. Krexel frowned. What was that? Power spike inside her room? Suddenly, screens flickered. One by one, the security systems went dark. Wait, what? A new screen lit up. I see a single quotes S face. Live feed. She looked right at them. And she smiled. Panic begins, Krexel yelled. She hacked us? Shut her down. I can't, said the cadet at the controls. She's in the system. Doors started opening across the block, but not for them. Isha's room was now the command center. And she was locking them inside. Inside the maze, Tirza and Velgren, ran through narrow corridors. Lights turned red. Drones dropped from the ceiling, not enemies, but helpers. They scanned Isha's biometric signature and ignored Velgren and Tirza. She took control, Tirza gasped. She owns this building now. Velgren nodded. She's not just trained. She's prepared. Krexel's prison, metal walls slammed down. Krexel found himself alone in a small square room. No controls. No cameras. Just one screen in the wall. It turned on. Isha stood there calm. Silent. He shouted, "You cheated!" She didn't answer. "Embarrassed all of us. You're a freak." Still no reply. Finally she spoke. "You tried to trap me," she said. "But I don't fear the dark. I was raised in it." The screen went black. 30 minutes later, Central Command receives alert. Alert. Training Block C. System override detected. Source: Cadet Khan. Isha control status: 100% response required. None, no harm. Full system restored. General Zarvek received the alert. He read it twice, then said one word: impossible. Sita 9 briefing room, emergency meeting. Instructor Relok stood before a team of analysts. She didn't just escape the trap, he said. She took it over, used it like a playground. One officer asked, "Is she military?" Relok shook his head. "She's beyond military. She's a weapon with her own mind." The others stared. No one had seen anything like her. Later, Isha's room. Tirza entered slowly. "You okay?" Isha nodded. Tirza sat beside her. "Why didn't you report Krexel?" "I didn't need to," Isha said. "He reported himself." "How?" "By showing fear." Command Tower, Earth Channel secured line. Instructor Relox's private report. Subject: KHAN. Isha trap reversed. Systems taken. 0 aggression. Nitrogen monoxide deaths. Recommend. Immediate restriction on advanced access. Earth's reply: denied. Project: Ember remains active. Phase 4 begins. Last scene: Sita 9 dining hall. Quiet corner. Krexel entered the hall, eyes low, jaw tight. Every cadet turned to stare. Not at him. At Isha. She was already sitting in the corner eating quietly. As if nothing had happened. As if taking over a military system was normal. Krexel sat far away, and the galaxy learned something new that day. Humans didn't need to be many. One was enough. Opening scene. Orbiting warship, Vorok's teeth. High above Sita 9, a dark warship drifted in silence. Inside its command deck, Commander Raz Vorok stood tall in his red and silver uniform. He was a battle-hardened veteran from the Skrull Dominion, known for destroying rebel planets and executing traitors without mercy. An officer approached, handing him a datapad. "New orders from the Galactic Corps, sir," the officer said. "You are to observe and evaluate Cadet Isha Khan, and neutralize if necessary." Vorok narrowed his eyes. "A human?" he said, voice low. "Earth was silent for decades. Why does one girl bring me here now?" The officer replied, "Because she's not just a cadet. She's a weapon, and command is afraid." Vorok grunted. "I don't fear humans, I end them." He turned toward the viewing window. "Send the shuttle. I want to meet this ghost myself." Next morning, Sita 9 parade grounds, a sleek black shuttle landed on the Academy's main platform. Cadets gathered quickly, whispers rising. "Is that a core ship? That symbol?" "It's a Death Adjudicator's seal. Someone from the war fleet?" The ramp lowered with a hiss. Commander Vorok stepped down, flanked by 2 armored guards. His eyes scanned the silent cadets, then locked onto one person, Isha Khan. She stood still, arms folded, not blinking. Vorok's jaw twitched. "She's smaller than I expected," he muttered. Instructor Relox greeted him. "Welcome to Sita 9, Commander." Vorok ignored the greeting. "Bring her to the combat floor, now." Training arena to 15 minutes later. Commander Vorok stood in the middle of the ring. The lights above dimmed. Isha walked in slowly. Unarmed. No armor. No emotion. You are Isha Kin, Vorak said. Yes. You've been given too much freedom. Your silence is mistaken for strength. I will fix that. Isha tilted her head. I've heard that before, she replied softly. You will defend yourself, or you will bleed. I don't need to defend, Isha said. Vorak charged. The fight, 1 minute 40 seconds. His blade slashed through the air. Isha dodged, leaned, slid. No blocks. No counter. Just movement. He roared and struck again, harder. She danced around the attack. It wasn't flashy. It was perfect. He tried to punch. She moved behind him. He twisted. She was already 3 steps away. Finally, she moved. One sharp strike to his ribs, then back. He stumbled. Fight me. He screamed. She stepped forward. You already lost. Then walked out of the arena. Cadet observation deck. Valgren stared. She didn't even try to hurt him. Tirza whispered. She showed him mercy. That's worse. Krexel nodded. Fear in his voice. She embarrassed a war legend. Without weapons. Vorak's quarters. Later that night, he sat alone, his ribs bruised. His pride shattered. His guards stood silent. Then a transmission came through. Earth command. A voice spoke from the shadows. You provoked her. She refused to follow orders, Vorak snapped. She was never under your orders, the voice replied. Vorak leaned forward. Then what is she? The voice replied, she is not a soldier. She is our reminder. Reminder of what? Vorak asked. The voice paused. That Earth never forgets and never forgives. The screen went dark. Next day, tactical simulation lab. Vorak returned with a new plan. He activated a deep simulation drill. Every cadet, including Isha, was to face the mind trial, a test that scans fears, memories, and weaknesses. You will all be placed in a false reality, Vorak announced. If you survive mentally, you pass. Valgren muttered, this test was banned. Tirza whispered, they brought it back for her. Isha said nothing. Inside the mind trial, Isha's simulation, she stood on an empty battlefield. Fire, smoke, the sky red like blood. From the fog came voices. You left us. You watched us die. Isha. You were supposed to save them. She saw shadows of her old squad. Faces of Earth soldiers she had trained with, all dead, all accusing her. She didn't move, didn't flinch. Instead, she said, I remember you. And I carry every one of you. The shadows faded. She walked through the storm, alone, unbroken. Control room, outside the simulation. Vorak watched the brain scans. No spikes, no breakdowns, no fear reaction. Relak said quietly. She turned fear into fuel. Vorak's fists tightened. I will break her, he said. No, said a soft voice from behind. It was Tirza. You can't break what's already been through fire. Later that day, secret message sent from Vorak to Skrull Council High Room subject. Khan. Isha containment failure recommend. Planetary watch alert. Earth may be testing pre-war assets. Isha's room night. Valgren entered quietly. She's going to keep pushing, he said. She already lost, Isha replied. She won't stop, you know that. I know. What will you do? She looked at him. I'll let her make one more move. Then I end it. Final scene. Commander Vorak's private hall. Isha entered alone. Guards didn't stop her. Vorak sat behind his desk. He didn't stand. I lost, he said. Isha nodded. You want to know why? He asked. No. But he told her anyway, because I forgot what Earth is, what silence really means. He handed her a chip. Give this to your command. It's a copy of every report I filed. I'm done playing this game. Isha stared at him. Then turned and left. Behind her, Vorak whispered, she's not a cadet. She's Earth's answer to a question we were too afraid to ask. Opening scene. Deep Space Transmission Station 9C. The stars outside blinked like distant fires. Inside the command room, a single transmission arrived from Earth. Encrypted. Old format. Dead protocol. The communication AI took 5 minutes just to recognize it. Then a sentence appeared on the main screen. "This is not a request. This is remembrance." The officer on duty turned pale. "This isn't from a fleet," he whispered. "This is from Earth Central Deep Archive level." Another voice behind him said, "What's the message?" The officer replied softly, "It's a name." Isha Khan, C-9 Command Hall, emergency gathering. Every cadet and officer stood in silence. A hologram flickered to life in the center of the room. Not a person. Not a warning, just 3 words. "She will speak." Then, Earth Seal, the room broke into whispers. Tirza looked at Isha. "Speak? About what?" Velgren frowned. "Or for who?" General Zarvek marched forward. "Enough silence. If Earth has something to say, they will use their diplomats, not a girl." But Instructor Relox replied, "Maybe she is the diplomat, the last kind." Private briefing, C-9 observation tower. Isha stood alone before a massive screen. Earth. Command came through in shadowed audio. "Cadet Khan," the voice said. "You are now the voice of Earth. This will be the first direct contact in 32 years. "Why me?" she asked. "Because you have already made them listen. Now they must hear the truth." "What truth?" "That silence does not mean surrender. It means we were watching." Isha's fingers tightened. Understood. Next day, Galactic Council ship, Archelaus Prime, a special summit had been called .rare. Unexpected and quiet. Leaders from 5 empires sat in the great chamber, each species older, wiser, more fearful than the last. Commander Vorak stood at the edge, silent, his injuries still fresh. Then the doors opened. A human walked in alone. No guards, no escorts, just Isha Khan. Some stood. Some stared. All silent. The council room, Counselor Dramak of the Solari Confederation stood. "Earth has sent a cadet to speak." Isha's voice was calm, clear. "Not a cadet, a witness." "A witness to what?" She walked slowly around the center ring. "To how you laughed when Earth fell silent. To how you moved your fleets toward our borders. To how you watched and waited for us to beg." Dramak's face darkened. "We never." She raised a hand, and everyone stopped speaking. She continued. "We stopped talking because talking was over. We needed time to change, and we did." She played the message. She placed the chip from Vorak on the table. A hologram appeared. Video after video footage of Isha in the arena. The traps. The hacked system. The Ember suit in action. The war drones destroyed, each moment sharper than the last. Then the feed cut. Isha looked at them. "Now Earth speaks again. We offer no threats, but we also offer no second warnings." Outside the chamber, later, Tirza met Isha in the hallway. "You told them." "I showed them," Isha said. "Do you think they'll listen?" "No, but they'll remember." Meanwhile, Skrull War Command. A general smashed the table. "She embarrassed us on every level. Now she walks into the council like a diplomat." Another whispered, "We attacked a ghost and gave it a voice." A third said, "And now the whole galaxy is listening." Night, back on Sada 9, Isha sat under the stars. Velgren joined her. "You didn't threaten them," he said. "I didn't need to. You didn't beg for peace either. Because they never offered peace when we were weak." He looked at her closely. "You're not afraid of war?" She turned to him. "I'm not afraid of silence either." Earth Command transmission. Final message. Instructor Relox received one last file. Project Ember. Final stage. The bell is rung. Voice delivered. Message received. Targets watching. Earth returns and fire only if needed. Until then, let them wonder. End scene. Galactic Broadcast Archives. For the first time in 30 years, Earth's voice was recorded on the interstellar net. One message, one name. No threats. Just a whisper through stars. We're still here. And suddenly, thousands of species who had forgotten Earth started watching again. Because when ghosts speak, the galaxy listens. Opening scene, Galactic Border Patrol, Sector 43X. Captain Relin of the Varkan Empire leaned back in his chair as his ship floated near Earth's outer territory. "We've mapped everything," he said. "No human fleet, no response teams. Nothing." His second officer laughed. "The ghost planet sends only whispers and children." Captain Relin stood. Then, "Let's break that silence." He pointed to the screen. "Send 3 probe missiles into Earth's upper atmosphere. Let's see if ghosts bleed." Earth to 4 minutes later, the probes entered the thermosphere. But they didn't reach the ground. Instead, they disappeared. Not exploded, not blocked. Deleted. Just gone. Then came the sound, not a voice, not a broadcast, just one signal ping. A code. An old war code. Line breached. Response protocol Alpha activate. Across Earth's surface, long-buried stations lit up. Black towers opened. And in the silence, Earth woke up. Zeta-9 Academy, 1 hour later. Every screen lit up at once. A single word, violation confirmed. Isha Khan stood in the command hall, already dressed in her ember suit. Instructor Relox looked pale. "You knew this would happen." Isha nodded. It was only a matter of time. Velgren whispered, "Will Earth attack?" Isha replied, "No, they'll answer." Varkan flagship. Later that day, Captain Relin still laughed. They blinked. Nothing happened. Weak-like. Always. Then his ship shook. Lights died. Gravity failed. Something massive appeared outside his window. A ship, black as space. No lights, no signals. No ID. It had no guns visible. And yet every sensor screamed one word: danger. From it came a message: "You touched the line. You will now understand why it was drawn." Seconds later, the Varkan flagship vanished. No explosion. No debris. Just erasure. Galactic Council emergency meeting. Panic. Shouting. Dozens of empires demanded answers. What did Earth do? What kind of weapon is that? Why was there no warning? Isha entered the room. Silent again. She placed a single object on the table. A small black cube. It played one video. Captain Relin launching the probes. Then his ship disappearing. Then silence. "We did not strike first," Isha said. "But we will never fall second." Commander Varek's quarters, watching the broadcast, he leaned forward. "She warned us," he whispered. She was the warning. Skrell Empire, high throne. Room. The Empress stood with shaking hands. "We trained our armies, built fleets, but we were never ready for this." Her advisor asked, "For Earth's return?" She shook her head, "For the discipline of their silence." Later, Zeta-9, Academy wall. Tirza sat beside Isha. "You crossed no line." "They did. You don't feel guilty?" Isha turned her head. "I gave them every chance." "We all did." Last message, Earth command to the galaxy. The message was short. One ship erased. One line crossed. "We do not seek control. We do not seek war. But the next who tries will not get a warning." 1 year later, Galactic. Peace report. No new attacks near Earth. Borders quiet. Trade routes resumed. New treaty signed. The Line Treaty. Enforced galaxy-wide. No one dared cross the line. Again. Because of her. Because of the silence. Because they remembered what happened when the quiet girl finally stood. Final. Scene, Isha on Earth. Himalayan base. She stood before a group of new recruits. All species. All young. All scared. She said only one thing. "You want to know how to win without raising your voice?" She smiled, then listened.